Hello!
Ahoy!
Welcome to Season 3, Episode 20 of Bottom of the Stream.
Welcome.
Welcome, Nick. Welcome back aboard the Streamboat.
Thanks.
Nick's back on board.
Thanks for having me.
No, you're always welcome.
Took me ages to reel that rope in. Dinghy was taking on water after all these months.
We're back in the same room.
I know.
It's really exciting. This is the first time we've been in the same room together since the Botskers, which is now 21 weeks ago.
It's gone slow but fast.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's crazy.
It's been weird.
It has been weird, but we're all back to normal now. Hopefully we won't get put back into another lockdown, and we'll stick with being in the same room, which is really good. We are socially distanced. We've got a good metre and a half in between us, I think. I've disinfected the whole room. Stinks of bleach in here.
I just thought it was your new
It's my new
fragrance.
aftershave. Uda Flash. How are you? What's the news?
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here. I'm excited. I'm really excited to be able to look you in the eyes. And I'm really excited to talk about this movie today.
Yes, me too.
Because I chose it.
It's going to be a weird one, this one.
And I'm really glad I did.
Cool. Yeah, I'm really glad you did. So it's going to be a fun episode. So stick with us. Let's talk about social media first, shall we?
Let's do that.
Twitter. Follow us on Twitter at BOTS_podcast. Follow us on Instagram. That is the same, at BOTS_podcast. The website is www.bottomofthestream.com, where you'll find every episode we've ever done and all 3 season stream tables. Or you can join us on Patreon at patreon.com/bottomofthestream, where for a couple of quid every month you can get some extra bonus episodes, some early access to the episodes, merch, a wildcard if you come in at a certain level, and a newsletter that Nick writes every month. I think that's it. Is that it?
Pretty much.
Cool.
If you can't give us anything on Patreon, that is absolutely fine. We would ask you, though, if you have got a few minutes spare, can you leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or on Podchaser or anywhere else that you get your podcast from, because it really helps the algorithm and it puts us in more people's ear holes.
Correct.
And we want to live inside people's ear holes
That's
for
where
an
I
hour
aspire
every
to be.
week.
That's where I aspire to be. Talking briefly of Twitter quickly.
Yes.
I found today an old Twitter account that I used to have. I haven't tweeted on since 2016.
Okay.
So, what was that, 4 years?
Yeah.
It has almost as many followers as my actual Twitter account.
Really?
And it very much depressed me. So, if you don't follow me on Twitter, just follow me. You'll find me on the Bottom of the Stream Twitter. Linked. somewhere.
Good.
But yeah, I was a bit depressed. I was like, wow. I assume they're all the same people. But
Probably.
yeah, it's got almost as many followers, and I've not used it since 2016.
You could do with seeing a graph, because if it's actually grown since you've not used it,
Since I've not tweeted once.
that would be even better.
Oh, well.
Sorry,
Never mind.
just to put a better spin on it for you.
Nick, I believe you've got some Netflix news for me.
Yeah, I will lead with the Netflix news this week.
Do it.
Let's start with Money Heist.
Okay.
Money Heist has been renewed on Netflix for a 5th and final season.
Oh, awesome. Have you ever watched it?
No, but I really want to.
I
It's
really
on my
want to.
list.
Yeah, it's on my list, but I've never got to it.
It's one of the highest rated things
Yeah,
on
it really
Netflix.
is.
So anyone who is watching it, you'll get to see the end of that story. Maybe that's the best way to do it, though.
Binge it
I
when it's all
can just
finished.
Crack through the whole thing. None of this having to wait to see what happens.
Good thinking.
Yeah.
Good thinking. We'll wait till season 5's done. Does it say when it's coming?
No, well, it's only just been commissioned, so
Oh, okay.
no.
Well,
It's the same with everything at the minute. Dates
Yeah.
are a bit up in the air, aren't they? So,
They really are.
do you want some stats?
Yeah, I love stats.
Do you want
You know me.
some data?
Yeah, data.
Because Ofcom, who look after and regulate the communications industry in Britain, have released some data about streaming systems.
Oh, right, okay. That's interesting.
And apparently, as of July 2020, Netflix is subscribed to by 45% of all online adults in the UK.
Wow. 45%? That's
Allegedly.
insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
Amazon Prime's subscribed to by 39%.
That's quite a high number as well. You get a lot more advantages with Prime, though.
Yeah, true.
There's probably more to that.
That's not necessarily them using the video service, is it?
I rarely use the video service, but I do buy a lot on Amazon.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe.
And third biggest streaming.
Disney Plus?
Yep. I want to have a guess at percentage of online adults that have got Disney Plus. Bearing in mind, it's only been, well, as of July, it had only been active for 3 months.
3 months. 22?
16%.
Oh, really?
So yeah, not too far off. I thought it was quite
That
interesting.
is really interesting. Is BritBox on that list by any chance?
No. No.
Like
So-
0%.
Apparently Now TV was third until
right, okay.
Disney Plus came and
Took
blew
its
it out
crown.
of the water.
Oh, right.
So yeah, I thought that was quite interesting.
BritBox have been in the news today. Have you seen?
No.
Do you remember a while back, ITV announced that they were making a new series of Spitting Image?
Yes.
It's only going to be on BritBox.
I feel like they announce that every couple of years.
Yeah. But they've released some of the puppets now, so they're
Right.
definitely doing it. But it's only going to be on BritBox.
Well, that's
It's crazy. It's a bit-
that'll last 6 months and then
If
it'll
that.
turn up on
yeah, if
normal
that.
TV.
I'm surprised BritBox is still going,
Yeah, me too.
personally.
My other bit of news
Next news.
is about Disney Plus as well.
Okay.
Have you heard what's happening with Mulan?
Yeah, I have heard what's happening with Mulan, yes.
So Mulan has been was scheduled to come out in June,
Yep.
I believe, or May. It was then moved to August.
Yep.
It has now pretty much been. It's got a limited cinema release in some countries.
Yep.
In August. That's at the time of recording. That may change.
Yeah.
So Disney have announced that they will be making it available on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
At least in the States. We'll see whether that is extended to other countries. But you will have to pay an additional $30
That's ridiculous.
to watch it.
It's ridiculous.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Because if I was taking my 2 children
get
and my
that.
wife to the cinema,
I get that. I do get that.
there is no way I could get us in for that price.
You could at the minute. But yeah, I get why they're doing it. It just worries me. The future of cinema worries me.
It's very much an experiment, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm going to cinema on Monday.
Are you?
Yes, I've booked today. I'm going to see The Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, okay.
I'm really
Excellent.
excited about it. So, yeah, it'll be my first trip back since lockdown.
So how is that allegedly going to work?
Apparently, I've got to wear a mask for the whole thing.
Okay.
I don't know how they're going to police that when people are sitting in the dark.
Right.
But, yeah, I've booked 2 tickets. Me and a friend are going. In the cinema that we go to, they have, like, on one side of the aisle, there's only 2 seats.
Yes.
So I've booked those 2 seats. So
Okay.
There's no chance of anybody.
Got
People can't sit next to me anyway. But I think when you book, you have to leave 2 seats between each party because you
I
can
see.
see what other seats are booked. I think you have to leave 2 free seats.
I'll be interested to see how full it is then.
When I booked, there was nobody else booked.
Okay. Interesting.
But that was today, which is Wednesday, and I'm going on Monday. So it's a long time.
Okay.
But I'm really excited. As soon as I saw it, I was a bit dubious about whether I wanted to go or not. But then I saw the Shawshank Redemption was on, and it kind of
So
made my
so
mind
is that just is there a load of older stuff?
Yeah, pretty much all they're showing.
What can I choose from if I wanted to go?
If you wanted to, they're showing a different Harry Potter film every day this week.
Okay.
The Empire Strikes Back was on last weekend.
All right.
The Dark Knight trilogy has been playing. All of the Lord of the Rings films. And basically just random stuff. There's things that were on before lockdown are still on. So Sonic the Hedgehog's back on.
Right.
Onward is back on. There's a couple of films that have come out that would never have come out
Sure.
as not for this. Yeah, things like that.
Dave Franco's released a film, hasn't he? And it's I can't remember what it's called. This is not in my news. I'm just spitballing here. But it's his first film as director, and it's he can now claim it's been top of the box office for like 3 weeks
Really?
or something.
Is it American Pickle?
No.
I've seen that's come
No,
out.
that's Seth Rogen, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't know because they're like mates, aren't they? I didn't know
Yeah.
if they were. I like Dave Franco.
Yeah.
I've always been a big fan of Dave Franco. If you've not seen Nerve, that's a really good film that he's in. Yeah, so I wrote that down.
I think it might be called The
Rent.
Rental or something like that.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, sure, that's what
Don't
it's
know.
called.
I wrote that down to tell you I was going to cinema, and it just worked into the news feature perfectly.
There you go. That, I believe, is all my news. I have a thing that has come on to Netflix today,
Okay.
which I just wanted to mention, given that Netflix seem to be making an absolute killing on documentaries.
Yep.
They have released a new 5-part series today, which is called World's Most Wanted.
All right.
And it's 5 episodes on 5 different most wanted criminals
Oh, that sounds quite interesting.
who are at large
At large.
in the world today. Yeah.
I suppose they would be. Then they're not going to be in prison if they're most wanted, are they? We want these guys. They're in prison already, but we don't know where.
So I'm sure I wouldn't be surprised if that gets a bit of traction over the next couple of weeks.
They're killing it with documentaries at the minute.
Yeah.
They're absolutely killing it. Since Tiger King, they've just seemed to have gone for the documentaries.
Yeah. I mean, it's cheaper.
Yeah.
programming, pretty reliable, isn't it? Especially if it's something that captures a bit of, it's a good story.
There's no real target audience for a documentary either. Pretty much anybody can watch one.
Sure.
So yeah. Talking of documentaries, I watched the Zac Efron series.
Oh, what did you think?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I watched all of them this week. I thought the Iceland one was fascinating.
I think that was the best one.
Yeah, I think that was the best one.
When they met that park ranger who didn't know fuck all about any of the questions they were asking.
That was brilliant. He was just like, they just kept asking, there was some sort of waterfall, weren't there? They just keep asking him questions and he didn't know the answers to any of them. So you could tell Zac Efron was getting really pissed off about it. It was funny. But no, it's a really interesting show. I thought the episode about water was really interesting.
It is interesting because I remember we turned it on. I was like, I'm not sure. I'm not in the mood for this. But it was really, watched the whole thing in a week probably.
Yeah, I did as well. Since we've last recorded, I've watched it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good, really interesting.
And he comes across really well, doesn't he?
He does. Yeah, they both do, to be fair. I'd never really heard of the other guy before, but he does. It was quite sad in the last episode.
Yeah.
It ended on a real low
note. It was a downer, yeah.
It ended on a real downer, but yeah, it's...
We'll spoil it. He gets home. What's the guy's name?
Darren somebody.
And he gets home and his house is burnt down.
Yeah, he's in the California wildfires, isn't he? And he decided to keep filming, and then the last scene is him just going back to his house and screaming.
And it's like that bit in The Simpsons when the Indian looks over the trash.
Yeah, it was really it was really sad. Considering this was like a friend of the Earth, and the Earth fucked him over.
He's proper like Point Break, isn't he? He's real like.
I really hoped it to show him drinking from a plastic bottle at the end. It's like, fuck you, fuck you back to the Earth. No, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I would definitely recommend it.
Ace.
Have you watched anything? I've got 2 more things.
So the only thing I've I've watched a couple of things. So I mentioned this in our newsletter, which went out this week, and I mentioned it was coming imminently. I think it was last week's episode. So I've watched 3 episodes of the new Transformers.
Oh, really?
On Netflix.
Any good?
Yeah, it's really good.
Really?
Really enjoyed it.
I might have to give that a go.
It's definitely more nuanced take on it. So there is a lot of backstabbing, side swapping.
Yeah.
People changing allegiances and all this sort of thing.
Is it a bit more of a grown-up telling of the story, kind of?
Sure.
It's not for kids.
Definitely. I mean, it still is. It's still massive robots shooting lasers at each other.
But they've kind of aimed it at its older audience now. Yeah. People have grown up.
There's nothing there to offend kids.
Yeah.
But there is a lot more politicalness to it, and I've really enjoyed it. So I'm definitely gonna finish that this week.
So 6 of them at the minute, and then there's another 2 lots of 6 coming.
Yeah, correct.
Cool. I watched a film.
Oh, yeah.
I watched a film called Freaks.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen it on there. It's come up on my stream quite a lot lately. I don't know if it's new. It's not new, but I don't know if it's new to Netflix. It's from 2018.
Right.
It stars Emil Hirsch. Do you know him?
Yeah,
he was in. Yeah. He's been in quite a few things, and Bruce Dern's in it as well.
Okay. Yeah.
It's really good. It's about a girl who discovers that she's got this superpower. It's a bit like not X-Men, but you know how they were like in the X-Men films, the X-Men are kind of derided by society and they're kind of pushed away as mutants.
Sure.
And nobody wants to know. It's like that, but they call them freaks.
Okay.
And these people have kind of gone underground. And her dad has got really paranoid about it, and he's kind of brought her up whilst being locked in the house. He doesn't let her outside. So she's got no real concept of the outside world, and she doesn't know that she's abnormal. They do call them abnormals. And it's her kind of realisation of that, whilst he's trying to keep her in. And her mum is... she thinks her mum's been killed. It turns out later that she hasn't. I don't want to spoil it, but that's not a spoiler.
Fine.
You learn pretty early on. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good film, and I'd definitely recommend it, especially to you. You'd really enjoy it, I think. It's really good fun.
I will take a look.
It has Grace Park in it, who was in Hawaii Five-0.
Yeah.
She's really good in it. I also watched, I remember a couple of weeks ago, I don't know if it was last week, I was telling you I'm starting a Stephen King film watching mission.
Yep.
I watched Hearts and Atlantis.
Oh, wow. I've never seen that.
I hadn't ever seen it either. It's on Netflix, which is why I brought it up, obviously. It's got Anthony Hopkins in.
Yep.
It's really good. I really enjoyed it.
Is that book a series of short stories?
Yeah, it's 4 short but connected stories.
Oh, okay.
And the film is based on the first one in the book and the last one.
Okay.
So the characters kind of stay the same, but it's different stories.
You enjoy it?
I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I thought it was really good. I definitely, if you've not seen it, I'll definitely recommend it.
Cool.
The book's not great, but it's not bad.
Talking of your Stephen King rewatch.
Yes.
I happened across an article on a website today.
Yeah.
I've mentioned this website before, Pajiba.
Yes, you have.
Pajiba.com. It's again, it's pop culture type website. And one of the contributors on there had mentioned a Stephen King adaptation.
Right.
That is rarely seen. And he remembered it being one of the scariest things he's ever watched. And it is not from a book. Stephen King scripted it himself.
Right, okay. That's exciting.
In the late 90s.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't happy with how some of the recent TV adaptations had gone.
Fair play.
And it's called Storm of the Century.
It's brilliant.
Have you?
I have.
Do you know it?
Yeah, I've seen it a long time ago, but it is good.
Okay.
It's different.
And he was saying it's just really hard to find, and so
it is quite. I don't know how. I think I had it on DVD.
Okay.
When it first, I think I brought it because that would have been the sort of my peak of Stephen King buying.
Yeah.
And I think I brought it on DVD. I won't still have it now, but it's good. It's just about a massive storm.
Yeah. So it's about a small island.
Yeah.
Just off the coast of Maine. And they're battening down the hatches when a mysterious stranger arrives. Do you know who plays a mysterious stranger?
Not a clue.
Colm Fiore.
No way.
Yeah.
From Bon Cop, Bad Cop?
Yeah.
That is a weird coincidence.
It's Bon Cop himself.
the good old Bon Cop.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a small world.
That sort of thing happens to us quite a lot.
Yeah.
Cool. I might try and find that. I have seen it before, but I haven't seen it for a very long time. I was aware of it.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm going to watch Maximum Overdrive next.
Oh, right, okay.
If I can find it anywhere. That might be a tough one to find.
Awesome.
That's 20 minutes. Shall we talk about the film?
Yes.
Let's talk about Gantz O. This was Nick's wildcard for this season.
Sure was.
Nick's played his wildcard. That's all the wildcards played now for this season, unless we get a last-minute Patreon.
Yeah.
Which I kind of hope we don't get, because that would be like, shit, play wildcard quickly. Gantz O is Japanese. It is from 2016. It is a 15. It runs for 1 hour and 35 minutes, and is currently rated at 7.1 on IMDb.
I did not realise that.
It's quite highly rated on there, yeah.
That's interesting, because having done a bit of reading since watching it, there aren't many kind reviews.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't looked.
Which we'll get into.
Yeah, sure we will. I did a bit of research on some of the guys in it, but to be honest, none of them you will have heard of unless you're really into this sort of film style.
Yeah.
So I'm going to skip it.
Oh, fine.
There's people in it if you're interested in who's in it. What I did do is I spoke to Ross Cook.
Oh, Ross Cook, yes.
Ross Cook, you know Ross Cook.
Yeah.
He is the guy who does all our I can't speak. All of our artwork. He designed our current logo, and any like cartoony things you see of me and Nick, that'll be Ross's designs. He's aware of the Gantz universe. Now, apparently there's a Gantz universe.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, that doesn't surprise me, given I feel like this only sort of was the tip of the iceberg, to be fair.
Yeah. So I thought I have no relationship with anime or manga at all.
Okay.
I just haven't. It's just something that's always.
You've never
passed
seen
me
one?
by. No.
Okay. That's interesting.
It's something that's always passed me by, so I didn't want to just go off talking about it and offend somebody by because you know what these people are like. These.
I haven't seen many, to be fair. I do remember.
Apparently, they're called weebs.
Okay.
Ross told me this as well.
I do. Again, a lot of it was through the sort of student times. I've seen like Ghost in the Shell, Akira.
Yeah.
All those.
So I haven't.
Big.
I feel like I need to educate myself.
Okay.
But I'm very much not a weeb. Do you know what a weeb is?
No idea.
Apparently, a weeb is somebody who is not Japanese but is obsessed with the Japanese culture.
Cool.
So that's a weeb. But apparently, it's an insult.
Oh, it's not cool.
It's not cool. But this is. I had a bit of a conversation with Ross, and I was like, educate me a little bit. So he has given me a bit of a message here. Apparently, Gantz O gives you a pretty good overview of the entire Gantz series, but there's 37 volumes of the manga.
Oh, wow.
He thinks it ran for about 3 years. He says he's not an expert, but he does know this sort of thing. There's an anime, a live-action version, and a couple of movies. The whole Gantz universe is apparently just violence, action, some musings on death, forgiveness, your basic manga stuff he's put. He says, interestingly though, he's put, the one thing I'm not sure about is in the manga, regular people can't see the aliens. They're aliens, not monsters.
Oh, interesting.
I've written monsters all the way through my notes, so if I say monsters, they're aliens, apparently. Regular people can't see them, and they also can't see the guys in the black suits. However, in the film, that changes, and they can.
Now, that's interesting because that makes me feel that maybe the film's slightly messy then, because obviously the general public can definitely see the monsters.
Yeah.
But they don't seem to be very aware of the people in the
black
suits.
suits. Although the policeman, army med people at the end did see them.
Yes.
So, yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. So, as I say, I'm certainly going to butcher this film because I don't know anything about it. But so I thought I'd just get Ross to give us a bit of a history on it. Do you have a one-word review of Gantz O?
Gore.
There's a lot of gore in it. There's a lot of blood in it. It's good. Where does the film start, Nick?
We're in Tokyo. We are in the Shibuya district,
okay.
I believe. And a woman wakes up.
Yes.
On the floor, surrounded by debris. There's cars overturned.
Yeah.
There's alarms going off.
Some shit's gone down.
Fires burning. It looks like a war zone.
Yeah.
And then a massive fucking monster lobs a car at her.
It's not a monster, it's an alien. Yeah. I thought this devil-like beast throws our car.
Yeah.
Which he does. Then some bloke flies in and he starts fighting with the alien.
Yep. So this is Kurano.
You're going to have to do names because I've written things like bloke, girl, old man. Because interestingly, you watched this in Japanese, did you not?
I did. So I went original audio, so I went Japanese audio with subtitles.
And I went English audio with no subtitles.
Okay, interesting.
So it'd be interesting to see if anything gets lost in translation between us. Normally, I just want to point out, I would watch something in subtitles, but when we're doing notes on a show, if I've got the option to do it in English, I'm doing it in English.
Fine.
And to be fair, the dub was quite good.
Okay.
I was quite impressed with the dub. You wouldn't never really know. It wasn't like they were like speaking really pronounced posh English.
No.
They definitely had a Japanese tinge to them. Anyway, this bloke flies in and what was his name?
Kurano.
He's
getting a croggy on the back.
Explain croggy.
Is when your mate's riding a bike.
Yeah.
And you're sort of perched on the axle.
Yeah.
On the back, and he's on the back of this like Tron type uni wheel.
Yeah. It's like a motorbike with one wheel that goes all around you. Yeah.
Like in South Park.
Yeah.
Where they've got that wheel with the.
We're going to laugh so much through this.
With the appendages.
Yes. Good use of the term. Anyway, he rides in on his wheel.
And it's all cool, like cyberpunky, neon-y.
Yeah. What we haven't said is that the film's animated.
Yes.
So we probably should make that clear. Although it's CGI animation, it's not like it's a cartoon, is it? Yeah. It's computer generated. It looks incredible.
So the monsters look great.
Yeah.
The cities look great. I mean, there's a few times where some of the human emotion and movement isn't brilliant, but that's probably because we know what humans do. So
I imagine the people who made the film do as well.
Yeah.
No, I think it's one of the best. It looks like, the cutscene at the beginning of a computer game.
Yes.
It looks like that.
It does, yeah.
It's done like that. Anyway, this bloke who flies in, he starts fighting with this beast-like devil creature, and eventually its head explodes.
Yeah, so he sort of gets knocked back first, and he talks to the lady, and she's sort of pleading with him, don't fight this thing.
Yeah,
it's gonna murder you, and he goes in anyway, armed with his sword, and the monster sort of just grabs him by the head, and slams him into the ground. But Kurano shoots the monster with a gun.
Yeah,
but it's a weird gun because it doesn't. It's like a pulse.
Yeah, it's like an energy pulse gun, isn't it?
And nothing happens for a few seconds.
Yeah.
And you're right, the monster's head then explodes.
Yeah, it happens. There's used quite a lot in this film, isn't it? The pulse guns.
Yeah.
So there's like a 3 or 4 second delay between firing it and the impact of it, I guess.
Sure. So Kurano actually dies.
Yes.
Because he has had his head mashed into the ground.
Yeah.
And just as this unnamed at the minute girl is sitting over him, she teleports away.
Yeah, her body kind of fades away, or it's like breaks down, doesn't it, as it goes down line by line by line.
Yeah.
It's really weird. Like she's a computer graphic almost.
Yeah.
Cuts from there to the title card. And then we come back from that and there's like a montage of, it's not of news channels, is it? It's people seeing the news reports in the streets and
Yeah, so they're walking through the city, so it's news reports on the billboards.
Yeah.
It's people on their phones as well, isn't it?
yeah, it's very modern.
Yeah.
And the news alert that's coming up says that Osaka has been placed into a state of emergency. We meet our main character at this point,
Yep.
who is Kato,
Yep.
and he is on his way home he lives with his little brother, who is 10 years old, and he's on his way home to him. He's at a train station waiting for his train, and suddenly there's a bit of a kerfuffle at the other end of the platform. It turns out a guy's been stabbed. So he, being the nice guy that he is, I guess, runs over and checks on this guy. And we see then through CCTV cameras,
Yep.
he also gets stabbed.
Yeah, so an assailant
Attacks him.
wearing a mask and with a couple of daggers just kills him.
Yeah.
It's pretty brutal.
It is pretty brutal.
And I quite liked the artistic choice of showing it as through CCTV.
Yeah.
Um,
It worked quite nicely, didn't it?
it was just grim, grainy.
Yeah.
It wasn't very nice.
You know what CCTV footage looks like.
And Kato dies
Yeah.
looking at his dropped bag of shopping,
Yeah.
which seemed to contain a birthday cake
Yeah, it did.
for his little brother.
Yeah. Bad times.
Bad times.
I've written here, I thought this was going to be our main guy, and I was right. Because he wakes up straight after this in a room. It's like almost like a hotel room kind of
It
vibe.
seems
It's
more
just
like
like an office, an empty office.
Yeah.
There's some more people there as well. They've also, he finds out quite quickly that they've also just died.
Yep. So we've got the girl from the opening scene is there, and so there's an older guy who was driving the wheel.
Yeah.
So they are both there, plus a couple of others.
Yeah. Then there's also this ominous black ball in the room.
There is an orb.
An orb, yes, a black orb. Good word. I like the word orb. And that starts playing some cheery music to them. We quickly find out that the orb is Gantz,
Yep,
and it opens up and it gives them some weapons.
it does.
So it kind of, the sides kind of pop out, don't they? And there's loads of guns and stuff inside it. A bit of an argument ensues because 3 of them appear to have been here before and know what's going on.
Yeah, so we have got the lady who is called Rika. She says that she is also dead and that she died in a car accident.
Did she say that she was like a TV celebrity?
So she is still on some of the billboards around the city because she is a model for a shampoo.
Okay.
I
knew it said that she was a
she
celebrity.
she is a bit famous. The older guy is called Suzuki, and there is a younger kid. I want to say kid.
Yeah, I've written schoolboy.
Yeah, called Nishi.
Yeah.
Who's a bit of a gamer, I think, is
Yeah.
what it says.
Seems like it,
said in
doesn't
my version, anyway.
I think that's the impression I got. I don't know if it ever told me.
Plus, there's a bigger guy who I didn't catch his name, and he's there for the first time.
Yeah.
And he's like a dumb muscle head.
Yeah. You didn't need to catch his name because he doesn't last for very long.
He does not.
Instantly, the schoolboy, what did you say his name was?
Nishi.
He shoots the dude in
Yeah.
the head, kills him instantly.
Just explodes him.
I'm not interested in this guy. Get him out of here. Which causes Kato to throw up. Is it Kato or Kato?
I said Kato, but
I think they said Kato in my version,
Okay.
but I might be wrong. We'll say Kato or Kato. Nobody really cares, do they? Who cares? This is where you kind of figure out that it's a game, a survival game that they're kind of playing.
they refer to it as a game.
Yeah, but it is real life.
Yeah.
These aliens
Monsters
are invading
really
Osaka.
attacking.
Yeah. Aliens, not monsters.
Sorry.
Stop offending everybody. Suddenly then, Gantz starts counting down. And they start to dissolve in front of it. In the same way. It's difficult to describe how they dissolve, but it's like...
It's like teleporting in Star Trek, but it's slower. It is, and
It's almost like they've been dissected.
Some of them go from the top down.
Yeah.
Some of them start in the middle.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. And it's almost like you're getting unlaser printed.
That's exactly the best way to describe it. Like a 3D printer.
Yeah.
It's like you're being reverse 3D printed.
Yes.
Great. Well done.
Thank you. But so they start to do this, and Kato still hasn't put his suit on.
Yeah.
He still doesn't know why he's there. He doesn't know what's going
They've
on.
got a fucking clue what's going on.
He's just Ralphed in the corner because this guy's had his head exploded. And Suzuki says to him, get this suit on.
Quickly.
Yeah.
You're not going to want to be out there without it on.
Yeah.
And they reappear. They are forward 3D printed into the street. And they're out in the streets. And again, there's destruction and bodies everywhere all around them. But they quickly realise that they're not in Tokyo now.
Yeah.
They're now in Osaka.
And one of them says, I can't remember who, one of them says, this has never happened before.
Yeah, we're always in Tokyo normally.
Yeah.
But now we're not. So it's kind of new ground for them now. Even though some of them have played this game before.
Yeah.
It's kind of new ground for them. And then we meet the first of our alien creatures.
Yeah.
Because this lady...
It's a faceless geisha.
Geisha. Yeah, she's got no face.
Yeah. That's why I said faceless.
I don't know why I just say things sometimes. Sometimes I just speak and I don't know why.
It's not that her eyes and mouth sewn up. They're just not there.
They're just not there, but there's kind of like a pulsing energy under her face where they should be.
It looked awesome.
It did look really good. All of the aliens look really good, to be fair. It looked like she wanted to have a face, but she didn't have a face.
It's like busting out.
It's like she was trying to will one into existence. I just did an impression then of trying to will a face into existence. She kind of runs at them quite quickly.
Yeah, and she's like wailing, isn't she?
Yeah, it's really horrible. It's really creepy and nasty and horrible. I didn't like it.
So Nishi just pulls his weapon out.
Yeah.
And one bombs her.
Yeah. Straight in the face.
Head explodes.
Head explodes.
There's a lot of exploding heads in this movie.
Yeah. Some of the aliens are just heads.
Yeah.
So
they were some of my favourite ones.
Me too.
And we have a quick exposition break.
Yeah.
Where Suzuki, and I don't know how this happened in your version, but sometimes they called him Pop.
I don't remember them ever saying that.
But only a couple of times.
Okay. Because he's old.
Yeah, well, I guess so.
Or older.
So I've called him Pop quite a bit in my notes.
That's fine.
So that's who I'm referring to.
I've just called him old guy in my notes.
And he quickly explains that they have to kill all of the enemies before the time on Gantz runs out.
Yeah.
So we're basically just playing a wave attack video game.
Yeah, basically that's what it is. It's exactly what it is. They have to do that. If they don't do it before the time's up, they'll probably just die.
And then my next note is, there's a fucking massive head.
I've written loads of weird deformed things come for them. But one of them is a giant massive head.
Yeah.
Disembodied.
Yeah.
And it's just rolling.
Yeah.
And it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Just literally rolling down the street, crushing everything in its way.
It's like some boldy, beardy troll head.
Yeah. It's incredible.
It's wicked.
It really is. It really is.
And there's like gremlins. They're all like
all sorts
part animal, part human things.
Do you remember Animal World?
Yes.
The film we watched about rock, paper, scissors?
Yes.
With its very misleading trailer, which I believe it won the Botska for.
Yeah.
Misleading trailer award.
So where the clown was slicing through a load of aliens.
This is the film that I thought that was going to be.
Okay.
This is the film I thought Animal World was going to be based on its trailer. If you watch the trailer for Animal World and then watch this film, you're kind of in the right ballpark. Another team show up, which they weren't expecting.
Yeah, so just before that, so Kato gets squashed by this fucking massive head.
Yeah.
But because he's got this like super suit on,
yeah,
it protects him from the impact.
Yeah, kind of.
And then another squad turns up.
Yeah. Turns out they're a bit more organised.
Yeah, they're packing a lot more weaponry as well.
Yes, they are. They save the day, basically. They kill off all these aliens.
Pretty easily, don't
Pretty
they?
quickly, pretty easily, yeah.
They sort of deal with them.
Turns out these are the Osaka team, so that's probably why they're a bit more clued up, because they know they're playing, they're the home team, basically. There's some banter between the two teams. There's a bit of digging.
Yeah, and one of them's like walking around without an arm.
Yeah.
And again, Pop sort of says to Kato just to help us along with the exposition, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
So as long as you are still alive at the end of the game, when you are taken back out of the game, you will regain
whatever limbs you might lose,
or whatever your injury is.
Yeah.
You just got to still be alive.
As long as you can die.
Yeah.
But any deformity or anything that you lose, you will get back.
Yeah.
Which I thought was quite interesting.
Yeah.
I liked that.
Can we talk about boobs?
Let's always.
So there's a lot of banter, like you said, here from this team, and they're all like, "Oh, that we recognise that woman. It's the woman from the shampoo commercial."
Yeah.
And they're all like, "Oh, you've got massive tits." And
did it say that in the subtitles?
It was like you've got great jugs or something like that.
That's exactly what he was saying in the language as well.
I'm really not comfortable with how women are portrayed in this movie.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of toxic masculinity in it, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
a lot.
Like, really, really puts them down.
Yeah, it really does.
And objectifies them as well. So obviously they're running around in these skin-tight superhero suits.
Yeah.
Everything's pinned down. all this super technology, apart from when any of the women are running.
Yeah. There's boobs wobbling everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It doesn't sit well right with me, I've got to say.
Somebody's had to animate that.
Yeah.
Somebody's had to animate jiggly boobs. And at one point in this film, there's a lot of boobs.
Yeah.
We'll come to that later on. Yeah, I know what you mean. It is very... I don't know if it's just how this genre is or what. But...
considering it's not, it's a 4-year-old film, it's not,
yeah,
15 years old when this was more commonplace. I just thought it really stuck
maybe it's
out.
more commonplace in this genre than normal. I don't know.
George, who is one of the... he was the samurai sword wielding guy, the skinhead, in the Osaka team.
Is he called George?
Yep, he was in my version.
Okay.
he sort of is like, oh, Riker, I'm going to get your number.
Yeah.
We're going to hook up after this, all this sort of shit. And then this like scorpion snake bird thing appears out of a tunnel.
Yeah.
And George just kills it really easily.
It really does.
Because like it looks like proper badass. And it mows through a couple of people.
Yeah, it does. Takes a few out.
He just takes it out. So that's pretty much the first wave of aliens dealt with.
Yeah. We get a bit more exposition at this point because it comes up. You find out that you can level up your weapons at the end of the game.
Yeah.
So because if you're going back in, you can get better weapons next time, I guess.
Sure. It's with, standard computer game fare.
Yeah. The aim of the game is to get 100 points. If you do get 100 points, you get 3 options. You get to buy bigger weapons.
Yep.
Or you get to bring back a dead teammate.
Sure.
Or you get to leave and have your memory of the game erased.
Yeah.
So you're done. You go back to your normal life.
Yeah.
Even though you died, you go back to life. That's the rules of the game.
You basically get points for killing enemies.
The more you kill, the more style you use.
Certain enemies are worth more points.
Yeah. Until there's like a big boss at the end.
Yeah.
That's worth the most points, obviously. We quickly cut back to Gantz and there's 1 hour and 37 minutes left on the clock. Because that's still counting down. So they decide to split up.
Yeah, so they're having a bit of an argument here because Pop just says they just need to survive. And Riker is sort of explaining how they lost their leader on their last mission.
Yeah.
Which we saw in the pre-credits
sequence.
And Kato's struggling with this because he wants to help people.
Yeah, this is all new to him and it's in his nature to help people. And it's also in his nature to get back home to his son.
Yeah.
So he's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. He needs to get these 100 points. But his teammates are not that bothered.
No.
They're not really going for the points. They're just trying to survive.
And Kato decides to leave them, basically. Yeah. And Suzuki gives him some money.
Yeah. Because they're not in a computer game world. They're in the real world.
Sure.
And he gives him some money and says, call your son.
He says, if you find a payphone,
or a payphone that works,
then you call the person who's waiting for you.
Yeah. Which I thought was really interesting because you do kind of lose track with the fact that because he died, you kind of lose track that he is actually in the real world.
Yeah, he's been brought back to the real world.
So he does. He calls his son.
Brother.
I've written son because at this point I thought he was.
That's fine.
But yeah, he calls his brother and he tells him he'll come home, basically.
Yeah, he says, I've been held up at work.
Yeah.
Which isn't a lie, I guess. He's got a new job.
My next note says, big giant head with arms and a cyclops attacks him. It's a big giant cyclops' head, not two things.
Yeah. It's I've just put eye monster. So he fights this eye monster and saves his family, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I've forgotten to mention, there's like a shadowy girl following him around.
Yeah, there's a weird girl following him.
Who you just sort of see occasionally.
It made me laugh quite a bit at this point because to kill this monster, he lost his gun.
He did.
So his gun's the opposite side of the street to this monster. So he figures, I could probably jump over it.
Yeah.
So he goes to jump over it. And as he jumps over it, he gets his neck stuck on a power line.
Yeah.
And kind of clotheslines himself down. But he does get the gun and eventually he does kill it.
Yeah, because the super suit allows him to
jump
higher, run faster. All that
it's a power suit, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is where he meets up with, give me a name.
Anzu.
Yeah. That's not what she was called in mine.
Why?
They kind of have a bit of a chat and going through their lives a little bit, aren't they?
She's a motor mouth, isn't she?
She never shuts up. And she asks him how old he is. Mm-hmm. And he reveals that he's 17.
Yeah.
I would have placed him a lot older than that.
Yeah.
But personally, which is why I thought that the kid was his son.
And she is fascinated by him because she's obviously heard the conversation that he had with the Tokyo team. And she says no one here saves people.
Yeah.
everyone is just looking after themselves.
Yeah, the aim of the game is not to go out and save as many people as you can. The aim of the game is to survive.
Yeah, survive and get the points.
So saving people is not an option. You shouldn't be doing it. It's dangerous. You just risk. There's no reward for it. It's a risk with no reward.
But she then tests him. She says, I'm pretty sure I saw a kid hiding out over there.
There's an elderly couple with a kid, and they've got a brush.
Yeah.
There's this monster that comes and attacks. It's not a monster, it's an alien. This alien.
I've described it as a troll wearing a fez.
Yeah. Good shout.
It's bigger again
it's massive.
than the last
this one's
monster.
Huge, yeah.
It's the biggest thing Kato's faced. And it just shits him up, doesn't it?
It does. It beats him up. Eventually, it's got this massive long tongue.
Yeah.
And it wraps around this old guy. And it tries to eat him. But Kato stops that. He saves the old guy, manages to shoot the monster. And then he tries to fight it a bit. There's a big action sequence of him fighting this alien thing. And the girl's just standing watching. She's not helping.
No.
She's just leaving him to it. But then she comes in and she changes her mind. She's like, shit, I really probably should get involved here. And between them, they kill it.
Yeah, she gets grabbed by its tail and put in. It's got these holes in its back, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And she gets put in one of them. But Kato ends up using Anzo's weapon.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it. It was awesome.
It's like a laser net.
Yeah, so it's got 4 points and it fires like a bowler, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it
kind of wraps
around the monster and then it cheese wires its head off.
Yeah, it kind of pins to it wraps like a laser cable around its head.
Yeah.
And then pins itself to the floor, so the monster's pinned down.
Yeah.
But then gets tighter.
Yeah.
So it's pinches its head off, basically. And they use that a couple of times. I thought it was really cool. That was her weapon, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
He tells her at that point that he's going to keep saving people. It's just in his nature. It's just who he is. It's what he does.
And she sort of says to him, well, actually, we're in a similar situation because I have a 3-year-old son.
Yeah.
And I need to get back to him.
Yeah, so she's got somebody to get home to as well. So they basically tell each other their life stories, don't they, and what's happened to them. She then introduces the rest of her team, which we get through action sequences. I didn't write any names down, but she's on her team. There's a guy who's won 4 times before.
So that's one of those is George.
Yeah.
And then I didn't get the other guy's name who drove George around.
Yeah. He's won 7 times.
No, so that's a different guy. And then she mentions Oka, who is the guy who's won 7 times.
Yeah.
But no one sees him very much because he's got so much weaponry. He walks around
he's got a cloaking
cloaked.
device.
Yeah.
So he wins by cloaking and hiding.
Yeah. And obviously he's had several weapons upgrades if he's won 7 times.
Yeah. At that point, we cut from those two to Pop and the girl, the TV Riker. I knew I'd be terrible at names on this one. They get kind of an alert come up to tell them that there's a monster nearby.
Yeah, they're still moping around. They're still being sad about Carano from the pre-credits. And then a massive bull spider comes out the river.
Yeah, it's huge. It's like Godzilla.
Yeah.
It's huge. And it's quickly followed by a giant robot.
A mega robot turns up.
And they start having a huge fight.
Yeah.
The robot appears to be on our side.
Correct.
I'm not sure if it was or not, but it appears to be.
So I'm instantly thinking this.
Yeah.
I've forgotten the name already.
Oka.
Yeah, Oka.
I got you. I told you a name. Yes. Yeah, they start fighting and it kind of leaves it there for a little bit. We do come back to them. Cut to Gantz and it now says 1 hour and 3 minutes left on the clock. Kato comes back then. They all kind of he rejoins his team.
Yeah, so
they're kind of reunited.
So there's a quick bit where George and the other guy are talking about, there's rumours that the boss is worth 100 points.
Yeah.
In this situation, and then suddenly Pop and Riker are surrounded by a load of military guys.
Yeah.
And they have no idea who these black suited people are.
Yeah, they've no clue what's going on.
And then Kato turns up.
Yeah. And he kind of saves them from the military guys, doesn't he?
Yeah, kind of. They're still pinned down.
Yeah.
But then a sort of troll angel turns up.
Can I tell you what I've written for this?
Yeah.
One? A giant Danny Trejo with wings. He really looked like Danny Trejo.
Look like Danny Trejo. That is a great spot.
That giant Danny Trejo with wings shows up and he takes out all of the army guys.
This whole sequence with this dude might have been my favourite bit of the film.
Yeah, it was really good. The girl, who you have got one name for. Anzu, she starts throwing bikes at it.
Yeah.
There's like a pile of bikes on the road. She starts chucking them at it. Kato's got this laser net thing still, so he fires that at it, but it manages to break free of that.
Yeah, so it captures it, but before it can sort of lock in and start to chop the thing's head off, it busts out of it. It's too strong.
Yeah, he manages to get free from it. The rest of Anzo's team show up at that point. I've written the two tough guys show up. But it won't die. It resists all of their weapons.
Like, it is taking hits. It's like its face is hanging off.
Yeah.
The weapons are creating like a crater in the ground, and it's
just getting up.
in a swimming pool of its own blood.
Yeah. Literally
but
a swimming pool.
It keeps getting up.
Yeah. Eventually, though, it does die.
It dies. It kills George. No, it doesn't. It crushes the guy who's not George.
Yeah.
In its hand.
Yeah.
Well, but he gets the final kill shot on it eventually. So this tough guy and the Danny Trejo monster both die.
Yeah.
And then this cool little dude turns up.
Yeah, this little
Yoda type geezer.
Japanese Yoda type guy turns up. And I think it's George attacks him with like a samurai sword.
Yeah.
And chops him into 4 pieces.
Yeah.
And then suddenly we've got 4 of these little Yoda Japanese guys. Because it reforms itself into 4.
Yeah.
And then forms itself back into the 1 again.
Yeah.
And then it transforms into something quite disturbing.
It's a boob monster.
It's a boob monster.
But it's not
just boobs.
And
it's naked ladies.
It's an awesome bit of animation.
Yeah, it really
so
is.
it turns it into this writhing, ever-moving lump of flesh that's like, I don't know, 20 foot tall.
Yeah.
More. And its fingers are legs.
Yeah, it's completely naked ladies.
Yeah.
It's
Headless.
headless. Yeah, it's not got a head.
So all of it is made up of, fingers, toes, boobs.
Legs.
Its hair is like dangling legs.
I'll try and find a picture of it and put it on Instagram because it's quite difficult to describe,
Yeah.
but it's quite a fascinating...
And it eats George.
It does.
And spits his head out.
Yeah. It's quite good at dodging weapons as well.
Very good.
You can't really attack it because it manages to miss them every time.
The Tokyo team, they get a few shots on it and its head comes off. But that doesn't slow it down.
No, because it just grows a new one.
Yeah. And they slow it down a bit, but yeah, they're under the cosh here, aren't they?
Yeah. And then the young kid, the schoolboy, comes back.
Nishi
comes back, and he manages to explode it.
He's got a massive weapon.
He has. And he kills it, basically.
Yeah.
Takes it out.
It explodes into another swimming pool
massive
full of
swimming
blood.
pool full of blood, yeah.
But it's still not dead.
But it's still not dead, because then, I've written here, a giant tentacle demon goat thing appears.
Yeah, I just put goat squid as arises.
That arises from the swimming pool of blood that's on the floor. This is a weird film to be talking about, isn't it?
Yeah.
I imagine people who have not watched this film who are listening to this are thinking, what the fuck are these two talking about? We'll cut back then to the giant robot and the huge thing that it's fighting, still fighting.
Yeah.
But suddenly the robot gets taken out. It gets knocked down into the ocean, I guess.
Yeah.
Water. I've written, but a dude defeats the goat monster. I don't know who it was that defeated it.
They didn't.
Oh, did they not?
No, it took Nishi's arm.
It did.
So, and then they all jumped in the river to escape it.
Yeah.
And that's where they watch the bull spider fight the massive robot.
Yeah.
The bull spider beats the massive robot, but Oka has jumped out of piloting his huge robot.
Yeah.
And he's basically on the head of this bull, and he takes it out.
Yeah, he kills it. He kind of beat it quite easily as well. But that you say, he's got the most weapons. Yeah. He's the most tooled up of all of them.
He then they all sort of come together.
Yeah.
And the squid goat, the Tokyo team, and then Oka shows up, and he fights the squid goat thing.
Yeah, it's kind of spawned into something a bit more human-like now. Does it become like a naked man?
Yeah, so he beats the squid goat.
Yeah.
Quite easily.
Yeah.
And then it's still not dead.
Yeah.
It now turns into like a muscle version of the little Yoda guy.
Yeah. Yeah, but naked.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
And eventually it nearly gets him, but eventually he kills that as well.
Yeah. But he says but then he goes back to the group and he's like, it's still not finished.
Yeah.
But I don't want to finish it off now. It's not the right time.
He basically says, if I if I go over there now, it will kill me.
Yeah, it's too risky.
He says, I don't know how he knows this.
Yeah.
He just says, it needs to be a surprise attack.
Yeah. So he walks away.
Yeah.
He just leaves it. Kato's not having this. He's like, well, we'll just go and do it then. If he's not going to do it, we'll go and kill it. I've written then, a spinning beehive appears and sprays bullets everywhere.
Yep.
Remember that bit?
Yep, I do.
That kills the old guy, doesn't it?
Yep.
Suzuki? Pop? He got kind of shot.
No, he's still not dead.
No,
he's
mangled.
Yeah.
The monster spawns back in. I guess this is the final boss, isn't it? That just keeps coming at them now. Kato just punches it in the face.
So now what does it look like? It looks like, so if you took all the skin off a person,
yeah.
So it's just muscle.
Yeah.
But then you put its bones on the outside.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it looks like.
A bit like, what's that Nicolas Cage film where his head's on fire?
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider. It's a bit like Ghost Rider.
Yeah, he's got a Ghost Rider-ness to him.
Kato punches it and then all the lights go out in Kato's suit.
Yes.
I don't know what that signifies, what his lights going out meant.
No, I presume it meant...
Because they have like blue lights all over their suits.
I presume it meant his powers, as in his fast running and his...
Yeah, he's got none of that left.
It's turned it into normal clothes.
it's just a wetsuit.
Just wearing a cat suit.
That's when they've realised they need to catch it off guard, and the best way to catch something off guard is to sniper.
Yeah.
I've written the schoolboy's got an arm off.
Yeah.
But he is alive.
And the evil boss basically says I've put he looks a bit like evil Groot.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
And he basically says, I'm coming back for you later.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and kill that
the good guy.
The one who was actually challenging. Yeah.
Yeah. This is where what are you calling this girl?
Anzu.
I've written Yamasuki. Now I think that's what she was called in my version. She makes him promise that she'll go and live with her after this is all over.
Yeah, they're gonna live.
The four of them.
Yeah.
Her and her kid. Does it describe what her kid is? Daughter?
Her name was Anzu Yamasaki.
Ah, so maybe you've got the first name, I've got the surname.
There you go.
Yeah, but they barely know each other, but now she's like, you've got to come and live with me, or otherwise I'm not going to help you. She kind of threatens him.
Yeah.
It's really weird. She's a bit needy. So he agrees. He's like, yeah, the four of us will go and live together after all this is over. And then shit starts exploding everywhere again, and you can tell it's about to go down. I can't remember what it is now, but it lands behind him, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's still the same thing.
Is it still the same?
Yeah.
I just don't know if it's got somebody's head in its hands.
Yeah, it's got Oka's head.
It's got Oka's head, so he's killed Oka.
Yeah.
As it said it was going to do.
But Raika and Anzu aren't into position.
Yeah,
into their
they're not ready yet.
Sniping position.
No, so Kato tries to distract it by talking.
Yeah. He says, what are you?
Why? Yeah.
Actually, what are you?
Yeah, what are you? Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you? And it says to him, you're in the presence of a god.
Yeah.
And so basically it's describing itself as a god or a godlike creature. It's got his finger on his forehead the whole time, as if to say, I could just push this through you now if I wanted to. And then suddenly they obviously get into position and they start sniping it.
Yeah, it's got an arm off.
Yeah, they literally shoot the shit out of it for ages. It goes on for a very long time.
And if this was a game, this would be... I can just picture playing a game and the health bar of the boss.
Yeah.
Takes ages.
It does
to go down.
But by the end, it's got its face is in two pieces. It's just hanging down its side.
It's sliced in two down to like its belly button.
Yeah, and it's still going. It's got laser eyes.
Yep.
So they're at the start they're together and they're shooting, but in the same direction. And by the end, they're all over the place. It takes out one of the girls who's sniping by destroying a piece of the building she's on. Yeah.
So Raika. That's Raika, and the sort of platform that she's on collapses, and she ends up getting a spike through her shoulder, a piece of metal.
Yeah.
But she's still sniping away.
Yeah.
To be fair to her.
Anzu?
Yep.
She gets chopped in half.
She does.
By the eye lasers.
She is killed quite brutally.
Yeah.
And Kato gets his legs shot off.
Yeah. So Kato's got no legs. The schoolboy shows up.
Nishi.
But he gets taken out quite quickly.
Yep.
But eventually, between them all, they're all battered and torn, and they've all got limbs off now, I think. But they do eventually manage to kill it.
Yeah, and I think it's Kato who gets the final kill shot.
Kill shot, it definitely is. I've written everyone's dead but Kato, but they're not. They're all just mangled. I think Yamasuki, Anzo, I think she's like in half.
She's dead.
She's dead. Yeah. Definitely dead. He's got no legs left. Nishi's dead and he's got an arm off. They're all in a bad way.
Nishi makes it back. So
he does.
He's
not many of them are dead, but
No.
they're all in a really bad way because they all start fading out at this point now.
Yeah, they start teleporting out.
They start teleporting, and they all eventually end up in that room that they started in.
So we're left with Raika, Suzuki, Nishi, and eventually Kato.
Yeah, Kato doesn't turn up straight away.
No, it's a proper prick tease, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
It's like, I'm pretty sure he is fine, and then it's like, oh no, actually maybe he
he's
did die.
dead. But then it shows him crawling over towards Anzo.
Yeah.
And he puts his hand on her hand, and then he starts fading away. It goes through the scores. Gantz then goes through the scores, what everybody got. Nobody's got more than double figures, I don't think. And then he gets to Kato's score, and he got 100 points.
Yeah.
So he gets to choose. He gets the options. He gets to choose whether he wants to upgrade his weapons, or whether he wants to bring back a dead teammate,
Yep.
or whether he wants to leave
Yeah.
and go back to his brother and forget all of this ever happened. His memory would be wiped. He takes the option to revive Anzo.
He does.
She wakes up in a separate room because she's from a separate team.
Yep. So she's back in Osaka.
She can't believe that she survived, but then she quite quickly realises what's happened.
Yeah, she's like, oh, that stupid kid.
What an idiot.
And then I've just written, oh, you can leave.
I've written exactly the same thing. Nishi just walks out of the room.
It's like, I'm going to get McDonald's
I'm
or
going
something.
to clear off now.
Yeah.
And
Because-
Kato says the same. He's like, what, I can leave?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, you can, until the game starts again.
Yeah. It's like, you will be called back whenever the next
at
thing
some
is.
point,
But
the
yeah,
game-
you can go back into your...
You can go back to your normal life now, but the game will call you back in.
Yeah.
And you will have no choice about it. You'll just get teleported into this room at some point. So he leaves and he goes back to his house to see his brother. But then it comes out between Pop and Riker that isn't the first time Kato's played the game.
No, we get a little flashback, don't we?
Get a flashback to him playing it before and winning it before. And that time he did choose to have his memory erased.
Well, no. So Carano chose it for him because they're talking about how, Riker and Pop are talking about how they know Kato and that he'd just play this game forever.
Yeah.
Because there's always someone else to save.
Yeah. So he would never choose to leave himself. He would just always save other people.
So his team sort of sent him out previously.
Yeah.
And he has obviously got no memory of that.
No.
And he gets home.
Yep.
He throws open the door.
Yep.
We are looking at him from inside the flat.
Yep.
And then the film ends.
Yeah, he looks sad.
Yeah.
He looks like something bad's happened. And then the film ends. Leaves it on a right cliffhanger. What do you think?
What do I think at the end?
No.
Or what do I think generally?
What do you think happened at the end?
What do I think happened at the end?
I don't know. My question was, what do you think? You can interpret it however you want.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think his brother was dead. Or something was in there.
I don't know if his brother was dead. I think his brother wasn't there.
Yeah.
Because I don't know in real life how long has it been since he saw his brother.
That's it. You don't
how
know.
much time has passed. We don't know.
No. Don't know. So his brother definitely wasn't there, or something was there with his brother.
Yeah.
So who knows? Or he was about to be called straight back in again.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe. Who knows? What do you think of the film overall?
I had a great time.
I did. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
It's just mental. It's batshit crazy is what it is.
The monsters just look great. The designs. It's just so inventive.
The CGI is incredible. It's probably the best display of CGI I've
And that
ever seen.
massive fucking head just rolled around the corner. I thought it was
You knew you were in for a good time.
amazing.
That happens early doors, and you know you're in for a good time because you're just like, that's incredible. I'd got a banging headache when I was watching this last night. And I
How
was
about this will help?
like, exactly. I thought that. I was like, do I try and postpone it? I thought, no, I'll battle through it. By the end of it, I'd completely forgotten. I was just like, I'm just having so much fun. It's brilliant. I really enjoyed it. It's not something like I said earlier, it's not something I've ever seen before, ever even contemplated. I would never have watched it if it wasn't for this show. Not in a million years. But I'm really glad I did. And it would make me watch more. I'm not going to lie.
What of
Maybe not of this series, if there are more.
Right.
Or just anime in general.
good? Oh, I'm really pleased you say that. I mean,
If they're all as mentally fun as this, I'm up for it.
there are issues.
Yeah, there are
You
issues.
know, there are massive gender issues.
Hugely.
It asks you to go along for the ride, so it's not. I don't know anything of the rest of the universe.
Not me.
But I feel that no one ever asks or answers the question, why is there this massive fucking orb?
Yeah, what the fuck is going on?
Where's it come from? How is it calling all these aliens in?
Yeah.
Because it's played like this is just what happens in the world.
Yeah, this is just shit. Osaka's now being attacked. Next week it could be Tokyo.
But it looks good. it's got moments that made me smirk, if not outright laugh, and it's just fucking insane.
it's non-stop as well. From the very first scene to the very last scene, there's always something going on. It never stops.
No,
it's such high tempo, such a high pace. For an hour and a half, it absolutely flew by.
Yeah,
it flew by. I was disappointed when it ended. I'm not gonna lie.
What, you could have seen another?
I could have done another 15, 20 minutes. I could have seen another battle scene. I'd have been happy with that. Yeah, overall, I enjoyed it.
Good. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Good.
And something a bit different for us. Like I say, first time we've done an animation.
Yeah.
And
we've never done.
I knew this looked weird. And I'm happy it was as weird as I thought it might be.
Was it weirder than you thought?
It
was definitely weirder than I thought. I had no idea what I was getting from this.
I'm not sure if it was weirder. It was more graphic than I thought it would be.
Was it what you were expecting when you picked it?
Yes, but more extreme. As the imagery is about what I expected. I thought it would look,
Good.
We'd get all these strange designs and monsters and stuff. I was not prepared for it to be just gushing blood,
visceral.
Yeah, this literally they're wading through blood,
swimming pools of blood, rivers of blood.
There's brains all over the place.
Boob monsters.
Yeah,
giant rolling heads, cyclopses. It's just crazy.
Fez trolls.
Yeah, definitely go and watch it. Please go and watch it. Just have some fun with it. You got a trivia question for me?
Sure.
How many have you got?
Some.
I've got 2. So, do you want to go first this week?
Yeah, I can go first this week.
Go for it.
Okay, let me find the right page. So, I would like to know when Anzu and Kato are sort of telling each other about their families.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what Kato's father's job was?
I feel like that's in my head somewhere, but not where I need it to be.
He says that his mum and dad both died. I think they were in a car accident as well.
Yeah, I think they were. I'm going to kick myself because I know this and I don't know it. Was he a butcher?
He was not a butcher, although that would have been quite appropriate.
It would. No, I don't know. It's not there.
He was a firefighter.
Oh, it really was as well. Damn it. Still 8-7 to you.
Yeah.
You could pull ahead now then. Towards the end of the film, all the way through this film, Gantz counts down. There's a red counting down display.
Yeah.
At the end of the game, the clock stops. At what time does the clock stop?
I think it was 9 minutes and change.
I want you to be dead on.
I think it was... I'm just desperately looking to see if I wrote this down. Okay, I have a number.
Okay.
Was it 9 minutes and 22 seconds?
It was.
Yes.
Well done. That's come from your notes. I can see it here, but I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Damn it. I had another one. You know when he told her that he was 17?
Yes.
How old did she say she was?
23.
Ah, you'd have gone both then, so it doesn't matter. So it's 9-7 with 5 episodes left. It's getting close.
Yeah.
It's getting close.
Nail biter.
It really is a nail biter. Should we talk stream table?
Yeah.
Got the screen table up on the big screen in front of us this week. Where were we looking?
I'm quietly confident.
Okay. Shall I read the top 5? So at number 5, it's definitely in the top 5. Bon Cop, Bad Cop is at number 5.
Okay.
Do you want me to go lower?
I was thinking maybe it's just outside, but okay, we can have that conversation.
Okay. I'll start at 6 then. First Match is at number 6.
Yep.
Bon Cop, Bad Cop's at number 5. Bad Day for the Cut's number 4. Fast Colour's number 3. Bad Batch is number 2. And Super Dark Times is currently at number 1 on the stream table. So you're thinking 5, 6?
Right. Well, in some ways, this is my favourite thing we've seen this season.
Yeah. It isn't a number 1 film, though.
No. Because it just zips along. But it is problematic.
Yeah.
And I feel like...
There are other films on this table that are problematic as well, though.
Yeah, sure. But there's not many things I've watched that I've had more fun watching this season.
Give me a number.
I'm not sure which side of Bon Cop, Bad Cop to put it.
It's definitely better than Bon Cop, Bad Cop.
I really enjoyed Bon Cop, Bad Cop.
I did as well.
No, you didn't.
No, well...
Not as much as me.
Not as much as you did, no. It's definitely better than that. Even as an overall story, it's better than that.
I thought it was really good. Where are you putting it?
I'd put it above the Bad Batch. No, the Bad Day for the Cut.
Oh, so you'd have it in
Forgot fourth.
fourth.
I think it's better than Bad Day for the Cut, which
Yeah,
is also
but
troublesome.
the problem with this is I thought Bon Cop Bad Cop was better than Bad Day for the Cut. So this is where the table catches us out a bit.
Absolutely. So we both agree that it's better than Bad Day for the Cut.
Yeah.
You're just not sure if it's better than the one that's below that.
Correct.
So if you agree that it's better than Bad Cop, then you have to put it
No, I
above
don't.
Bad Day for the Cut. But you don't think it's better than Bad Cop, Bad Cop.
No, I'm saying that's what I'm torn between.
Okay.
I think it is better
So
than...
if I can convince you that it's better than Bad Cop, Bad Cop, then I also... that skips Bad Day for the Cut and goes up into
Yes,
fourth.
because I have no problem with it being better than our fourth place film, but I'm not sure it's better than our fifth place.
This is the trouble when the table gets this big. That's the problem when we get towards the end of the seasons.
Look, it's great. It's a lot of fun.
It's
These
a
are
lot
all
more
good,
fun than
These are all good films.
Yeah,
These
they are.
top five.
They absolutely are. It's a lot more fun than Bad Cop, Bad Cop. The story's better than Bad Cop, Bad
The
Cop.
story's better. I know it's as fun.
It's a lot more fun. There's no giant rolling heads in Bad Cop, Bad Cop.
No, there isn't.
I think it has to go above that. And if it has to go above Bad Cop, Bad Cop, it has to go above Bad Day for the Cut.
I'm not against it going fourth. Not at all.
So you want it in fourth or sixth?
Yeah. It can't go fifth.
But it can't go fifth.
No.
That's interesting. I love that.
It can go fourth.
I love that we have to concede the fact. Let's put it. It has to go fourth.
That's bottom of the stream maths for you.
It is. That's our logic all the way through. That's the trouble when the stream table gets this big. We don't agree on everything.
No.
We can't agree on everything. Fourth.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's better. I had more fun than, and I enjoyed it more than Bad Day for the Cut.
You know what that means?
Yeah.
That means you've won the wildcard league for this season by a considerable margin.
I have improved my performance significantly from season 2.
The next wildcard after you is 10th with I Kill Giants.
Yes.
11th for Zombievers was mine, and Ross's was
14th.
Ark?
Yeah.
14th. So yeah, you've nailed that this season, no matter where we put it.
I think that considering how bottom of the barrel I was scraping last season.
Yeah. What did you pick last season?
The Anomaly.
Oh, of course, yeah. You've really improved yourself this
Which
year.
I think you said is one of the worst films you've ever seen in your life.
It is one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, you've really redeemed yourself this year. Really have. So yeah, congratulations.
Thanks.
We'll
I'll take it.
The wildcards obviously get reset at the start of season 4.
Yeah.
And we'll all get new ones and we'll start and play again.
Okay, so that means we've got,
5 left.
5 left for the randomizers to be kind to us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all of them are going to be randomised now. No more wildcards. Unless we get a last minute Patreon. Which would be nice. If you're listening now and thinking, I might be a Patreon to that show, then you've got 5 weeks to... And you might get to pick a film. And you might get to take that title that I've just given Nick. You might get to take it off him. So if you've been on the fence about joining the Patreon, now's the time to do it. Shall we pick next week's film?
Let's do that.
Let me open my randomizer, make sure my volume is turned up. I've refilled the randomizer.
Okay.
Did I say that last week? I didn't, because we didn't use the randomizer last week.
No.
There are now 102 films on the long list.
Oosh.
So we're randomising, as we always do every week, apart from wildcard weeks, the long list to see what film we're going to watch next week. What are you looking for? What do you fancy next week?
I mean, should we have something a bit less intense?
It'd be nice. It has been a bit shooty the last few weeks.
But I'm open to you. I always fall back to a kind of a comedy.
Random romantic comedy?
But it can be romantic. Yeah, why not?
Okay. Shall I press the button?
Yeah.
It has picked a film called The Overnight.
Okay.
Any ideas?
Is it about like the postal system?
You always say the postal system.
Do I?
Did you say one the other week was
I
about
can't
the
remember.
postal system?
I have no idea.
I can't remember. I feel like you did.
Maybe. It's about a sleeper train. I don't know. Something really boring.
The Overnight is... the synopsis says, Alex, Emily and their son RJ are new to Los Angeles. A chance meeting at the park introduces them to the mysterious Kurt, Charlotte and Max. A family playdate becomes increasingly interesting as the night goes on.
Oh, okay.
Stars 2 people that have both been on the stream table before.
Oh, interesting.
Adam Scott
Oh, yeah.
was in Little Evil on season 1.
Yeah, way back.
And Taylor Schilling, who was in
Take Me.
Take Me.
That
from
was
this season.
Yeah, the first episode, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's rated at 6.1 on IMDb. It's from 2015. It's only on for 1 hour and 19 minutes.
Okay.
It might be one of the shortest films we've done.
Podcast might be that long.
Probably podcast will be longer.
Taylor Schilling is definitely a Netflix fave.
Yeah, they love her. They really love her. So yeah, The Overnight. Excited?
Yeah.
Cool. So go out and watch The Overnight, and we'll come back next week to talk about it.
I want to see how many giant heads are in it.
Taylor Schilling's not got that big a head. Cheers.
Bye.